This is the rollout for the start of stage one from the famous George Square in Glasgow. 121 riders then ready to face the opening leg down to Castle Douglas, 161 kilometres. 21 teams in the contest, the Grand Tour winners, Olympic champions and world champions. This is the breakaway of 5 riders that formed almost straight away, and the first sprint took place after just 4 kilometres into the second lap of the city, and the win went to Bovenhuis, the Dutchman, on Ant Post, so he chalked up the first points of the day.
So it was fast and furious racing right from the start, and 2 riders in that green jersey of Ant Post Chain Reaction getting themselves in the breakaway. With Bovenhuis, you also had Wastine.
So we then on to the first climb of the race, and it was an incredible sprint then for the points at the top. The JLT Condor rider Tom Moses launched himself clear to try and pick up the points. He looked back anxiously, but he did get to the top first, ahead of Peter Williams and Emil Wastine third from John McAvoy fourth.
So it was a big effort by the JLT Condor rider Moses to take maximum points, but interestingly, the rider that won that competition finished in second place, Peter Williams.
And as they got to the second in the King of the Mountains, that was Polniston, once again it was a big attack by the winner of the first climb, that was Moses, but Moses went far too early, and a big challenge came from the other riders. Williams almost squeezed right out of it, but on the line, as they put the wheels over the line, there was a lot of gesticulating from Williams, but the result was to Peter Williams from McAvoy and Wastine and Moses.
So it was on to the third sprint of the day, and Bovenhuis had already showed a clean pair of wheels in the previous 2 sprints, and taking the third sprint here from Peter Williams to make it a maximum for the Dutch rider.
A full house then for the Dutch rider meant that he would be on the podium at the finish to collect the first Yodel sprint jersey. One more climb still to come in the race, and that was the ascent of Dalmellington, and that was the climb that was a second category I should say, with points to the first 6 riders over the top, and it was Moses that tried to get rid of Williams on the approach to the line, but Williams was far too strong and he had the last say.
So training partners, both Moses and Williams, fought it out, but it was Williams taking it from Moses to take the first Skoda King of the Mountains jersey of this year's tour.
So 2 jerseys decided out on the road. Williams for the Skoda King of the Mountains, and Bovenhuis, the Dutchman, the winner of the Yodel sprint competition. So as they were getting nearer to the finish in Castle Douglas, the big bunch came back together.
And on the left-hand side, it was Trek Segafredo that started to lead the way into the last corner, and there was a crash for Mark Cavendish, Viviani and Groningen.
Quite a few big riders were delayed there, but as the road ramped up to the line here in Castle Douglas, it was a perfect lead there from the men in red of Lotto Soudal that set the German champion up for the final lunge to the line. Caleb Ewan, the diminutive Australian, in the wheel of Greipel, tried to challenge him, but the big German had the last say, holding off the challenge of the Australian to clinch the first stage of the Tour of Britain. Victory salute then by Greipel, signalling that he is the first winner of the race.
So it was the lead out here from Buschere. Greipel goes, pushing out about 1800 watts at this period. Caleb Ewan can't do anything but stay in the wheel. Sinkeldang hangs on for third place, but the German wins the first stage of this year's Tour of Britain.
And that win for Greipel is 5th stage victory in the history of the Tour of Britain. He looked across to see who was second, and that was Caleb Ewan. So the first iceberg yellow jersey onto the shoulders of Andre Greipel, the German champion. A long way to go, but Greipel is the first overall leader. So the stage result confirmed. Greipel winning from Caleb Ewan, Ramon Sinkeldam third, 4th is Richie, 5th Nizzolo, and 6th Raffoni. And the overall standings, Greipel then with a 1 second advantage over Bovenhouse, with Caleb Ewan third at 4 seconds, tying with Peter Williams.